kids? Do you like fighting games with fun, friendly characters?
A gritty action-packed experience?
A game where you level up and upgrade the items you collect.
And challenge yourself to learn a complex combat system.
Well, only one game gives you both.
Flying Dragon! It's 2 games in 1!
Get yours today.
Only on Nintendo 64. Get in or get out.
Flying Dragon, one of the lesser-known N64 fighting games. At least I never heard about it back in the olden days. It's an odd one. Not because there's anything particularly strange about the game itself, and more that it's split up into 2 distinct fighting modes, like 2 entirely separate games. There's SD mode, which has chibi characters, RPG elements, and equipable items. And virtual mode, which is a more serious, straight-to-the-point fighting mode, with a more Western fighting game art style. Calling these modes is a little misleading, as they are less game modes as they are completely different games. Sure, the game mechanics are essentially the same, but the vibes are completely different. In the SD mode, there is Circuit, which is your basic battle through the ranks tournament, Versus, which is the 1v1 multiplayer mode, Tournament mode, which, as the name suggests, is a tournament mode for up to 8 players. Group Match is a team battle mode, Options, control setup, is what it says, and should just be nested in options, but I guess they wanted there to be an even number of boxes in this menu. Practice mode is for practice. The treasure box, which is where you buy, sell, and examine your items. On the other side of things, you choose between 2D and 3D. The 2D plays like a 2D fighter, whereas the 3D mode allows you to sidestep and rotate around the arena in a third dimension. I'm not entirely sure why this is a separate mode when it could just be a toggle in the options menu, but they did it this way. Here you have Circuit, Versus, Tournament, Group Match, Options, Control, Practice, and since there's no items in virtual mode, there's no need for item management. So we have recognition data, which is basically a way to look at game records.
Sorry to break the flow of the video, but I failed to mention that the practice mode in this game is one of the best I've used. Not only are there move lists, but there is an option to have the commands on screen, and when you successfully do the move, it shows another move, allowing you to learn all of your character's moves one after the other. More games should do this. Now back to the originally recorded script.
The fighting mechanics are solid. It's a little slow, but there's enough depth to enjoy. I don't know exactly what it is, but the virtual mode feels like the gameplay has more depth to it. But that could just be the less stylized visuals making me feel that way. The RPG elements don't seem all that deep or interesting. I'd just as soon skip all that stuff. You can select and equip items before going into the circuit, giving you a boost to damage, defense, or allowing you to regain health in the middle of a match. I suppose this could add to the replayability, but it's not my thing. The music irks me. It's not so much the composition, not that the composition is great or anything, but some of the sounds used sound like they have a 16th note echo on them. I think it's not a very good sound font. The kick drum is particularly offensive to me. If I wasn't playing on original hardware, I would suspect it was an issue with my emulator, but no, they chose this. The rest of the sounds aren't great either. I just don't care for the sound choices they made. The art style of the SD mode is clean with distinct characters and anime-inspired environments. I don't know how I feel about the chibi art style. I can't take it seriously. They look like Fisher-Price toys or Bob the Builder or something. The virtual mode, on the other hand, has characters with more realistic body proportions and gritty environments based on a more realistic style. which is odd considering the game implies that SD mode is the real world and virtual mode is just a simulation. Both game modes look alright and succeed in the ways they're intended to. The SD mode plays a little bit slow. I did better when I just used basic moves or simple combos, whereas in the virtual mode, more complex moves seem to be the way to go. It's faster and more enjoyable in my opinion. Overall, neither mode is a great fighting game, but both are alright and worth playing if you're a fan of N64 fighting games. But they're not going to win any major accolades. Flying Dragon is an enjoyable novelty, but there's not much here to bring me back for more. I'm going to karate chop this one onto the This Is Fine tier. It's not a bad game, and the dual game modes is an interesting curiosity, but I kind of feel like it was a compromise made to appeal to a wider audience that left said audiences unsure of what the game was. I feel like the duality of the game should have been at the forefront of the box art, instead of being slightly hinted at. I know I wouldn't have given this game a second thought with box art like this. I honestly don't recall ever seeing this one on store shelves, and I was into fighting games at the time. I think it would have done better had people known that it's not just a chibi fighter, especially considering the virtual mode is the better of the two modes. Anyway, that's another game down in my quest to play and rank every N64 game. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a like. And if you're still here and you're not subscribed, then Dragon Punch that subscribe button, so you don't miss out on the next game I'll be playing. If you like what I'm doing here and you want to see me succeed here on YouTube, become a member like these martial artists. Thanks for watching, good luck on all the things, and I'll see you later. Bye. Control setup is what I think that the clowns, distinct characters in an anime. Overall, Nether? The dual game modes is an interesting curio to a wider audience that left said and the dual out.